Hey, what's up my fellow reefers, Fragbox TV, and today I'm going to talk to you about a pretty boring topic, but I think it's worth mentioning. We're going to talk about these right here, which are Astrea snails. Okay, let me get sidetracked like I usually do before we start the video. This is my favorite time to shoot videos for Fragbox TV. As you see, the store looks kind of weird. All the lights are off. That's because we're actually closed right now. It's late in the evening, and often I'll go home, have a bite, and then come back. I like shooting videos at this time just because it's quiet and there's no distractions or interruptions. But anyways, the glass is kind of dirty on this tank, but I want to show you what happened to this poor Acan Coral here, because at the beginning of the channel, I said I'm always going to show you the good and the bad. And unfortunately today there's a little bit of bad. So I lost this Acan Coral here. Acan Lord. I'll tell you in a second why I think that is. And over here, I'm in the process of losing my favorite torch, this dragon soul. Hello, fishy. You can see he's dropping some tissue or some flesh. And I think it was because of the salinity in this tank. So we do use my favorite refractometer here, Cybon, and I trust this thing dearly. Ours was getting quite old, and we do, it sees a lot of use and wear here in the shop. So it was out of whack. Unfortunately, the salt in this system was 1.027, maybe 2.8, maybe a little higher. I've since brought it back down to 1.025, and the tank's looking really good again. That torch that I just showed you is probably going to lose that one head that's peeling off. The rest of it, I expect it to survive. But anyways, little video update about what's going on with that tank. In other news, we got new fish in. Lots of really cool designer clownfish. This is from a clownfish farm in the United States. So here at Fragbox, we only sell captive bred fish. Check this one out. This is kind of cool. This is called a golden Trevally. Oh, sorry, buddy. He's kind of camera shy, but that's a really cool fish. They get quite large, actually. I think they get like a couple feet across eventually. But yeah, just want to show you some really cool patterns and different clowns and stuff. Okay, Astrea snails. I think they are the backbone of any good cleanup crew. I keep them in every single aquarium here in the store. Someone came by today and they said, how do you keep your tanks so clean? There's no algae in this tank. Once in a while we'll go through a little bloom of hair algae, and all that's telling me really for this system is that we don't have enough snails in the system. So we just got some more in. So you can see on this large 8-foot coral bed, I keep about 100 Astreas at all time, but we do sell the snails out of this system. Someone asks for 10, we'll go and bag them, take them out of there. But they're really good all around algae eaters, especially if you're dealing with diatoms. So if you have a newer tank, you get this brown fuzzy algae that sort of covers the glass and the rocks. These guys are really good. Oh, sorry, there he is. Really good at eating it. The only downside with these snails is they can't flip themselves. So the poor guys are a little bit special. So if this guy finds himself on his back, he's not going to be able to flip, and you're going to have to flip him back over. So if you walk through the tank, you know, just look for them every day. A couple of them might flip over. You just got to go and turn them back. It's kind of like turtles. If they get stuck on their back, they're screwed. But I think that every tank should have them. They're really gentle cleaners. So they're not like turbos that they're going to go and knock over any of the corals in your tank. We keep them in all of our display tanks here in the store as well. And our general rule for your cleanup crew is 1 Astrea snail for about every 3 gallons. So if you got a 10-gallon tank, if you got a 10-gallon tank, you can just go ahead and round up, add 4. Even if you add more, 5, they don't really add any bio load to the tank, and they're relatively inexpensive. So load up on them if you don't already have them in your tank, or if you're dealing with any algae issues. I can tell you from personal experience, they eat just about everything except bryopsis. If you're dealing with bryopsis, they're not going to help you. There are other ways. Oh, the lights are just changing on the apex. There are other ways to deal with bryopsis. That's a whole separate other video entirely. But if you're looking for a way to beef up your cleanup crew, if you're dealing with any nuisance algae at all in your reef tank, because I think that's one of the #1 questions we get here in the store. Oh, the lights have gone to blue. Okay, whatever. The lights are blue now. They're on the apex. They're being controlled. But yeah, one of the #1 questions we do get here in the store is algae related, and it's how to get rid of algae and how to make the tank look cleaner, because then you can enjoy your reef tank when it's cleaner and you're not battling any algae. So try Astrea snails. Second to those, I really like Trocus. They're a little bit more expensive. but they can flip themselves. So maybe it's worth the extra money. We do keep Trochus in all of our tanks as well, but Astrea is always my number one go-to, just because their size. They can get into those nooks and crannies where some of the Trochus and turbo snails can't reach, and they're really gentle and they're not going to hurt anything. They're 100% reef safe. Literally throw, I mean, hundreds of them into this tank all the time. You're not going to hurt anything, and it's not going to increase your bio load. If you do run out of algae, they can eventually starve. Maybe you got to trade them off or sell them or throw them on a local Facebook group or something like that. But I think that's it for today's video, guys. If you got any questions about saltwater corals or reef tanks, I'll leave our contact info at the end of the video like I always do. Hit us up. If I don't get back to you in the comments, we do get a ton of comments on the videos. We do our best to respond to all of them, but just shoot us an email if you got a more specific question, because we're happy to help you, happy to talk about this stuff. But that's it for today's episode. Thanks for watching, guys, and this is Fragbox TV.